My hopes for 2025 are that we have more utility in our product to use SHX, or more ways for the community to interact with it from a product level.
It's one of the things I'm excited for next year, and I'm hoping we'll interact with more, is Soroban, or smart contracts generally. And internally, we have been experimenting more with those contracts and getting infrastructure ready for us to start using them next year.
That's right.
In production.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. This has been a great year for Stronghold. We've done so much in 2024. We've packed so much from the payment side of the business to the SHX side of the business, all into 2024. Can you talk about the product feature that we launched earlier this year?
Yeah, I think one of the first ones that we came out with this year was taking our promotions feature and making that available to more merchants. We were quite busy testing it last year, and we saw some really good outcomes of that, so we wanted to finish that off and get that out to all our merchants. We saw some really good outcomes. I think we saw a 2/3 increase in the order size that people were putting through, the Stronghold payment methods. And so we wanted to help the merchants increase the share of their payments that were done via Stronghold by launching promotions so that customers could get easy access to discounts on their purchases.
And did this help with retention of customers for the retail merchants at all?
Yeah, it did. I think it was 30 to 40%
Oh, wow.
Of new signups that stayed through at least a certain number of purchases. So really interesting numbers we saw there.
Wow, that sounds like a win for the merchant and Stronghold.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the end consumer.
Exactly, yeah.
So that was a good product update that happened earlier in the year. Are there any other product features that we launched throughout 2024 that you also want to chat about?
One of the big capabilities that we launched that impacts a lot of the different product types that we have was same-day ACH. So instead of going from the very more slow next-day settlement to same-day, we're able to, increase the speed at which people are able to pay, merchants can get money, use their capital in better ways. So we rolled that out in a series of steps this year into various products, and we're seeing the results of that dribble out now.
That's great. Earlier this year, back in May, we were in Miami at the Smarter, Faster Payments Conference, and you had a presentation there. Well, it actually wasn't a presentation. It was an educational session for Nacha members. Can you just share with us what was the experience like, what you shared with the Nacha members?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to be able to, be in a room and present the educational session and a little bit about what we do here at Stronghold to those members. Some very interesting people in the room, some heavy hitters from, the financial institutions that you see out there running on those old ACH rails. I think one of the more interesting things to me personally was that there was no recording allowed, right? It was sort of behind closed doors. Very much sort of had to be their situation, but I had a lot of fun doing that.
That one needed to be behind closed doors because it really got interesting there for a minute, but luckily, it was really good debating amongst fintechs, the top banks, and Nacha specialists. So I'm glad we were able to align.
It's like a little bit of controversy in a good way, I think.
It was good, yeah. And you did a very good job handling that situation.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So after, it was really cool because you sparked so many people's attention at this educational session. Like I said, top banks, fintechs, and the folks that operate Nacha. And right after you walked off stage, there was a huge mob of people. And one of those people were the person that runs the preferred partner program at Nacha.
Yeah, it seemed like really good timing. They were thinking about introducing new categories, and that aligned really well with what I had just spoken about. And that kicked off the process of us becoming preferred partners with Nacha in a couple of their new categories, right?
That's right. The new categories are ACH Experience and ISO 20022.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're super excited and honored to be a preferred partner of Nacha.
It's a great avenue for more collaboration more broadly across the ACH spectrum. So at the Smarter, Faster Payments Conference, we were incredibly busy, maybe a little too busy, but we did also have another big event while we were there, and that was announcing the acquisition of 2022 Labs.
Yeah, it was great timing. We wanted to time that conference with a big announcement. And we had been working on this deal for quite some time. Yeah. So we actually acquired an entity that had educational materials for ISO 20022 standards, and we were able to take all of their educational materials and roll it under Stronghold.
When we started that off, we had no idea that Nacha would be introducing that as another category. So it was really nice that, everyone was kind of moving in the same direction as an industry.
That's right. It's very serendipitous.
Right. It's my favorite word.
Serendipity. We donated to Fair Shake Super PAC, and it was great because what I liked about that organization is that it was bipartisan.
Right.
So when a new administration comes along, or even new members of the House or local governments, they get these like political allies and educate them throughout their career.
Right.
So I think it's a really good program, and I think that I love the fact that it was bipartisan, and we'll see how it plays out.
Right. I do think we even saw some movement already from, a lot of those initiatives. And we saw, no matter which side you ended up supporting, both sides moved more and more towards being pro
That's right.
blockchain and cryptocurrency. So that was great from our perspective to be seeing.
That's right. That's true. At the end, we saw both people supporting.
Yeah, which is hugely important as a US-based company.
I hope the current government and the new government that's coming in will be able to push crypto and blockchain forward in the way that we need it to.
Yeah, more clarity, more guidelines about what we're able to do.
This is a big year for SHX. 2024.
It was opening a new year with governance having started.
Like, can have a check on our...
On a roadmap?
Yeah, on the roadmap.
Yeah. It's sort of nice that, we've progressed and had a good run through during the year, but we enter 2025 with really opening how we do governance here and making it more inclusive for, all the SHX holders to participate, and even more with the proposal process as well.
It was super exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the proposal platform and the participation that we'll get from the community. Did the governance votes kind of roll out the way that you expected? What did the community think?
So this year's votes really felt like they focused on logistics, sort of setting up for the future. So it's like a lot of groundwork that we've put together to make 2025 more open. Was there anything about this year's votes and how they went that surprised you at all?
It's interesting, like there was more activity at the beginning of the year because of the Bitcoin halving event. And then the later half of the year, everybody was kind of on pause because of the U.S. elections, I feel. So, a lot of things were sidelined, and maybe we didn't have the community participation that we had at the first part of this year. I don't know I haven't looked at it in detail to really have an opinion on it, but that's an educated guess on how I feel they went.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. And I think there's things that we could be doing a little better to encourage wider participation going forwards. And I think you'll see us and the team really putting effort into that.
That's right.
In the next few months.
We've already started.
We have.
Yes, but more to come on that.
Right.
My hopes for 2025 are that we have more utility in our product to use SHX, right? More ways for the community to interact with it from a product level. I'm really looking forward to planning that out.
Yeah, that's right. And I think we have a little bit more firepower in terms of our team to execute this as well. One of the things I was personally really pleased that happened for us in the last few months was hiring one of our old team members who joined us back in 2018. Was with us for a few years. COVID happened, moved on for a bit, but has come back. And, adding to our ability to do user experience and user interface improvements. So I think that melds very well with our roadmap that we're planning.
That's right. Very excited to. I love boomerangs. They're my favorite.
Yeah.
For talent.
It's one of the things I'm excited for next year, and I'm hoping we'll interact with more, is Soroban or smart contracts generally. I think Stella did a great job of deploying that, and we're seeing a little bit more usage of that. And internally, we have been experimenting more with those contracts and getting infrastructure ready for us to start using them next year.
That's right.
In production. And one of the things that we're looking to do is time lock.
That's right.
Right. Finally address some of those,
circulating
concerns
supply
with
issues.
circulating supply.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so we can finally point to a contract that says, hey, like, this is time locked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing that shortly.
Yes. And super excited that I think Stellar's had a big year as well in terms of like product releases. And it just amazes me the talent that they have there. They still have Graydon Hoare, which is the creator of Rust. He still works at Stellar. So that's why it's so speedy. We still have Dr. David Mazeras, who's been there from the beginning, that wrote the consensus protocol. Jed is still there. There's Nicholas Berry, Nicholas, CTO. He's still there. Just there's a lot of like great technical talent, like world-class talent there, and it just shows in terms of the products and how like some clever decisions that they made in terms of the product and how lumens interact with the ledger.
Great in terms of thinking about scale for the future and utility. Yeah, I love it. And we were talking about it the other day, how so many of the same people, that we've worked with over the last decade, really, we're all doing, we're all still in sort of...
We're still here.
Yeah,
We've survived for 10 years. How? I don't know.
It's the same sort of original crew behind the scenes that are doing the work, and I think that's really nice.
That's true. And even on the Ripple side, there's David Schwartz is still at Ripple.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... the talent, the technical talent is still there. I feel like in 2024, we had a lot of momentum with our SHX community, and I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful to have them. They did a lot of work in really leading the path forward with our governance votes.
Sort of getting the word out there and disseminating information. Yeah, that was really nice to see. And I think that really helped with participation. Definitely.
I agree. I think that we had a great 2024, and I'm so grateful that we had a great year at Stronghold and we had great year with community participation. I think 2025 is going to be our best year ever from both perspectives, three perspectives, from the Stronghold perspective, from our broader community perspective. And I think that we're going to start seeing things move at a government level.
Right.
So I just think that all these things that we've been working over a decade on, that we're just going to see like a lot of movement next year, and I'm super excited about it.
I think you're 100% right on that.